It's our pleasure to be partnered with our friends over at Duplessis Builders. And today, a special treat. Lance and Keisha, who just finished their pool with Duplessis Builders, are here to tell us a bit about that experience. How are you guys?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. It's thrilled to be able to talk to you all today about the prospect and the project. So I want to start first of all, whose idea was it? Whose idea was it we're building a pool?
Definitely wasn't mine. Yeah, I don't want no parts of a pool.
All right. Well, Lance, why were you skeptical about building a pool?
Well, I'm the maintenance guy, and I just thought that was adding to my maintenance list of things to do, and I just didn't want to make the list any longer.
Well, so I would assume, Keisha, then it was your idea.
It was definitely my idea.
And what Mama wants, Mama gets. I think we all know that.
Pretty much.
So, Keisha, why did you want a pool?
Well, I wanted a pool because we have an 8-year-old daughter who she's been in swim lessons, and we knew from the time of building the house that we wanted a pool, but she didn't know how to swim at that time. So we said once we get her in swim lessons, she learns how to swim, we would get a pool. But I don't think Lance believed that I was serious. So once she actually learned how to swim, he realized I was serious. And I was like, yes, we're definitely getting a pool.
So whenever the decision's made, and the decision was made for you, when the decision was made, how did you start to go about the process of finding someone to build your pool? What was the first step?
So the first step for me, Lance leaves all the research up to me. And especially for this, he was going to leave it up to me because he said, this is your pool. That's how he kept saying it. So since this is my pool, I'm a researcher. And so I do research for a living. So definitely when it came to this, I wanted to research. So the first thing I did, I just went to Google and I typed in pool builders near me. Mm-hmm. And so once I did that, of course, you have all kinds of things that pop up. So I spent a whole lot of time just going through the different websites. I read their reviews. I looked at their pictures. I read all the information that they had in there about their process, the quality of what they do, that sort of thing. And then I narrowed that down to 5 builders. And then I met with all 5 builders. And I had a spreadsheet where I compared all the different things. And of course, when I take it to Lance, he's like, just tell me who you're picking in the end.
Yeah. Well, it's a little. She do all of that, and she come with all the fancy ideas, and then I would take her spreadsheet, and I'll break it down. I think a lot of people build pools, and it's almost like automobiles. You can get from point A to point B in a Yugo, or you can get from point A to point B in a Cadillac. It's all about how you want to get there. And so just through her research and talking to people or whatever, talking to different builders or whatever, most of their upgrades was Duplessis standard. So I'm like, well, it's the standard or whatever, and it's everybody else upgrade. So, it's like, I'd rather take the smooth rides. I like to take the Cadillac ride.
What did you all decide were the most important, when you were picking a pool builder, what were the most important features or components as you're doing all your research and you had all of your spreadsheet numbers? What was identified as most important?
That's a two-part question. I'm a builder. I like construction, and so I understand the underneath the plaster, the mini pebbles, and all that different stuff. She don't. She like the looks of things or whatever. So, like I was just saying, Duplessis construction, the base, they underneath the plaster, the mini pebble, is a little more better quality, more rebar, more of this, more of that. We're gonna go with the best out the gate. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. I don't want to spend money on a pool that I really wasn't too enthused to get, and then get a not so much of quality, the quality of the work be compromised by any means of fashion or whatever. And as the salesman, Cody, to me kind of like closed the deal, sealed the deal, because he allowed my wife, she's a researcher and she's a talker.
You say like that's a bad thing, man. She's sitting right next to you. Look at that.
It's not. But he listened. And regardless if he, what she said, regardless if he thought it was not doable or wasn't the right way of didn't fully understand, he listened. And he took what she said and he tried to put it to paper or put it to her ideas. He didn't sway her to think the way he thought the pool should be. He allowed her to and if it didn't work, he made it make sense to her or why it didn't work. And so as long as he made her feel comfortable and I'm looking at the underneath the pool, the quality of the pool, I'm like, well, let's see.
So when the bones are great,
The bones are great.
and the style and the design looks great, you have a winner. What was that design process like whenever you decide to go with Duplessis? How did it go from there?
Right. So for me, what we did, I started out, I gave them an idea of this is kind of what I'm looking for. This is the design that we want. And back to kind of what he was saying with Cody, I wasn't set on this is absolutely what I want, but just to give him an idea. He did a great job of helping me bring that to life and understand realistically what we might want. I might think I want this, but have you thought about this? What about this? And let's kind of make it work. But what he didn't do, what really differentiated him from the other salespeople that we spoke with, I didn't feel like they were listening to what I wanted. They were trying to build me the pool that they wanted. And I felt like he wanted to give me the pool that I wanted, and he wanted me to be well informed in making that decision. And he did that. And I thought that was great. So when we started the building process, like they assigned someone to us, their project manager, and that person was always there for us. So they would let us know, okay, today you'll have guys coming to do this. You'll have someone coming to do that. They walked us through that process to let us know what to expect. They kept us informed, and I really appreciated that. So we didn't have to guess on where we are, what's happening, what'll be next.
You talked a little bit about that process, but I want to go a little deeper because, look, building a pool is very invasive. I mean, you're digging a hole in your yard. There's crews there. It's not a weekend project. How would you describe the experience of the build out with Duplessis?
Well, say Derek Duplessis or whatever, like some kind of whiz kid or something or whatever. And when it came to it, I told my wife, I said, I didn't even know the guy at all. I say, but just listening to him, and he made the pool experience when we went in their building feel like it was his pool. He was like, I'm not doing it. If it's not right, I'm not going to put my name to it, and I'm not going to do it. So right then that integrity jumped off. All of his guys, he must instill in them that they represent him. So every employee that showed up on the site was very mannerable. They picked up after themselves every day. They was mindful of the surroundings or whatever, and they just made the whole experience feel inviting. And even with Derek, we keep talking about Cody, and I don't want him to feel slighted or whatever. I think he's like a genius or something or whatever. I can't even much explain it in full details on what I think about him or whatever. But when it made me feel as if it was our pool. He showed up on site a few times, and it was like our pool, me and Derek pool. We building, and we fold our arms, and we talk about it or whatever. And I felt like it was our pool. I didn't feel like he just was a pool builder. He made it feel like family to us.
You use the word integrity, which I think that speaks volumes. Keisha, what about for you? How was your experience during the build out?
So my experience, I think really kind of the same thing. So from the beginning, it started with Cody coming in because he sold us on the pool, right? He's the salesperson, and he was by far well above any of the other people that we dealt with. Just the way he approached us, his sales approach, I think that's very important. A lot of times we were meeting with the owner of the company who they might not necessarily have that sales skill, and they didn't have it. And so it didn't give us the right feel up front. Cody had that, and it was great. Once we went in and then we met with Derek, understanding the thought that he put into it, that we were very appreciative of that. So we were really, when we were getting all of our quotes, we were rooting for them. We wanted them to win. We wanted them right? So it was great. It was funny to us that we wanted them, and we didn't just pick them because we wanted them. They were the best. And so when we started the process, I felt very good that I had somebody that I could reach out to. And even sometimes if I reached out to Cody and not the project manager on something, Cody didn't make me feel like this isn't my job. Reach out to that person. He dealt with it. He responded to me. He never made me feel like I bothered him on anything. And any of the people in the office, when I spoke with them, any questions I had, they answered all of my questions. And like I said in my review, they thought of things that we didn't even think about. There are so many details that went into building that pool and getting it right and the quality of it. And we were very happy and confident that we were having a good quality pool. That was important to us, and we have no doubt that that's what we have. And they made us feel good throughout the whole process.
Well, your finished product is beautiful. What, now that it's finished, how would you describe we're getting close to swim season, so you're going to get to enjoy it now when the weather gets a little warmer. How would you describe the finished product?
It's beautiful. I'm not one to say that too.
You're a builder, right? High standard.
It's beautiful, and I even told Derek when people show up at my house and see that, it'll sell itself 10 times over. And because of, like I said, that word integrity or whatever, when people ask, about it, it's almost like I'm coded now. I'm a salesman or whatever. I'm gonna be like, man, you got these guys was smooth selling. It's the Cadillac to pool building or whatever.
What does your daughter think of it?
Oh, she absolutely loves it. She can't understand why can I not get in now. So she doesn't care. The water's cold, that sort of thing. So even though we have the heater, we hadn't heated it up yet. So she's just dying to get in. She thinks it's wonderful. We have the beach entry on it, which, again, back to that, the way we have that beach entry versus the steps, they worked with us on figuring out what do you really want, how we can get you that if this is what you really want. Even when it came to that ledge that you see on there, we had all these different ideas on how to do that ledge where those stools are, and they came up with that for us, and we're very grateful. The way we had it, it was all bulky. It was something completely different. It didn't look right, and now we're so impressed and so amazed at how it actually turned out.
Those lights look great too.
The lights are, even the placement of the lights, like the art that went into Derek placing them exactly where they needed to be, understanding exactly how many lights we needed, because a lot of pool builders, that same size pool, we were only getting 4 lights, maybe 5. We have 9 lights in our pool and 1 in the jacuzzi. But Derek knew exactly how many lights we needed, where those lights needed to be placed. And so they absolutely thought of everything and did a great job.
Keisha, if someone asks you they're going to build a pool, if they should use Duplessis Builders, what would you tell them?
I would tell them absolutely, hands down. What I would tell them is, I've done all the work for you. I have the records. I have the comparisons. I can show you these different builders, and I can show you where Duplessis, if you're looking for a quality pool, you're looking for a quality process, and you definitely want to go with them. Customer service is missed a lot of times in the construction business, and you really appreciate that when you have it. And so I would tell them, you don't even have to look. I've done it for you. Here you are. I found your builder.
Lance?
If you want a pool on steroids, go with Duplessis. If you want some headaches, run around and all that other stuff, go find somebody else. Go. But I definitely would. I would only talk pool, and the only pool company I would talk is Duplessis. And I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm just saying that I had no hiccups. No hiccups.
Lance, Keisha, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, sharing a little of your experience today.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you.
If you're thinking of building a pool, you go with the best. It's Duplessis Builders, online at duplessisbuilders.net.